so much for keeping tuned into my channel. My channel is Victoria Ahmad at Home Economic Skills, and it's a pleasure to be sharing with you an interesting recipe today. We are going to learn how to prepare bean stew with eggplants, okay? It's going to be using very basic ingredients, but it's going to be a very lovely recipe. Okay, let's go. Here I am showing you my beans that are already boiled, and particularly I have used the beans that yellow like, I can say the yellow like beans. I've got them from the shop and boiled them. I love using them because of the color that they have. And now, after they have boiled fully, the next step is that I am going to add my ntula, okay? This is my ntula. I usually love using either the white or the green, no problem. So I put my ntula there, and then I will cover, and then before I cover, I need to put in some salt. Okay, just a little salt. I put in some salt and I cover. Okay, when I cover, the next thing is I will allow these ntula, these eggplants of mine, to get ready, and then I will be able to continue with the other steps. So let's wait for our eggplants, our ntula to get ready, and then you can take you through the next steps. Okay, now after very good minutes, we have boiled our eggplants and they are ready in the beans. You can see already the thickness is improving of our beans. The thickness is improving. So what next? The next process is going to be about frying our beans, okay? How do we fry? I'm going to get my saucepan and put it on fire. Then I'll get my cooking oil and then put it in, but I will wait for the saucepan to dry a little bit, okay? So when it dries, I'm going to put in my cooking oil, okay? This is my cooking oil. I'm going to add a little more cooking oil. I want to make sure I don't use a lot of oil and still don't use too much, okay? Too much or too little. Okay, our next step will be the addition of the onions. Okay, our onions will be the first step. When our oil starts to produce some smoke, then we're going to put our onions. After putting our onions, we shall allow them to sweat a little bit. Okay, we get the aroma of the onions. We can even cover briefly for them to sweat, okay? As we develop the aroma that is coming from the onions, when you don't give this time, you may not be able to extract the best flavor out of your onions, okay? Now, here we go. I can then open, okay? You can get the aroma after sweating your onions. Now, the next step here, I usually love, when I see my onions starting to cook, I give them some time. As they start to soften and brown a little bit, my next step is usually the garlic. I love the mixture of the garlic onto the onions. So I'll cover a little bit. I'm trying to get the aroma. Okay? I love this. Okay? And I love the aroma. Okay. So next thing is I'll add my garlic. This is garlic, and the combination of the onions and the garlic will really give me something very nice. Okay, now, after I have added the garlic and the garlic starts giving me that aroma, which is very, very nice, I usually love adding my curry powders next, okay? I usually love frying my curry powders. I don't want to put them there late because I will be spending a lot of, I will not leave these things to cook for some good time. So my next thing is the curry powder. I put it in here to fry a little bit, okay? I love putting in, that was Simba curry powder. Then I love using Harambe curry powder because it gives me a good color, okay? So that's my mixture which I have used, and then I go ahead to fry. Next thing that I will put, okay, so you can see my curries, my spices, I'm frying them and they're bringing a unique aroma. Next thing, I will have to put my tomatoes. I put my carrots, my cornmeal, and my green pepper. I'll put all of them at once because I know my beans are already cooked. So here I have put everything now, all the ingredients. After I put my curry powder, okay, and then I have put my tomatoes, onions, garlic, everything. I start mixing them out now. Because I have already grated my tomatoes, I know that it will take a short time. I can now reduce the heat a bit, okay? Allow my tomatoes to cook. The reason I grate them is because I want them to cook very fast. Okay, this is my mixture. You can see how it's looking like. I will allow my tomatoes to cook. If your tomatoes don't cook very well, sometimes you get a taste that is not very good. Now, this process is going on here. I can clear up my table. Alright, so remember I had already put some salt in my beans. So I'm just adding a little more salt because salt also helps me to soften my tomatoes. So I am putting some salt. Now that I'll be putting other ingredients in, like I'll be putting Royco in, I don't want to end up putting a lot of it here. Sorry. Okay. Alright, so when I'm adding my Royco, I usually get some little water, and then in this water is when I'm going to put some Royco. Okay. Remember, I am frying my ingredients and you can see how they are looking like. My cornmeal is in here. The eggplants are already cooked in the beans. I give time to these ingredients. I love frying my spices such that I don't get their direct aroma in the food. That's why I put them direct to the oil. Okay, you can see that when we put this combination in our beans, we shall be able to have a very good stew. This is my Royco. And what I am doing is I am trying to mix it in the cold water. Sometimes if you don't do that, it forms some bit of clumps. Okay, and I am putting it here as well. Remember, Royco has some bit of salt, so that's why you need to regulate the amount of salt that you use. I will continue to fry. You can see what I am frying. If you have some tomato paste, you can add tomato paste at this juncture. But you can as well cook your beans without adding the tomato paste. Okay? If you need some other nice spices, you can still add them. You can add your mixed spices. But now I've just shared the basic recipe of making very good bean stew. Now, what I usually do is I will get my beans and I will pick some sauce from here and I'll start adding it in here. Okay, I love these beans because of the starch that they have. Okay, I love the beans because of the thickness that they develop. This category of beans, the yellow beans, they look as if they are fresh beans, yet they are dry beans. Okay, I love this. I hope somebody has learned something new. And if you have learned something new, please don't forget to press the thumbs up button and then you continue to subscribe so that you get more videos. So this bean stew, I will get this now and I will add it to this. Okay, I'll add this mixture to my bean stew. Okay, this is my stew. Okay, I'll put it back on fire. I'll put it back on fire. You can add more liquid if you don't want it too thick, but you can see the color that was developed because of the curry powder and the mixture of harambe. So I still have more here, and then what I will do, I'm going to just get some more water. I'm going to add. Okay, so now here I am finishing all my ingredients into the stew, and I guess you can see how beautiful our bean stew looks like. The aroma is great, and I want to leave it to continue boiling, and when it has boiled fully, it will be ready for serving. Thank you so much for watching this video. Already my bean stew is boiling and the color looks great.